Hello everyone. If we wanted to implement strategic thinking and its approaches in medical affairs, we first need to understand the cognitive framework of strategic thinking and its key elements or components. And these are the two topics we will cover in this session. The first is the cognitive framework of strategic thinking. We will explain what we really mean when we say strategic thinking is a cognitive approach, or a cognitive function, or a cognitive process. And then we will focus on the 7 key elements of strategic thinking. We will also explain why these elements make the medical strategy different than any other type of strategy. In general, a cognitive process is a process through which the mind processes information, remembers data, and solves problems. It includes several functions such as perception, memory, thinking, problem solving, and language. When we describe strategic thinking as a cognitive process, we are emphasizing the mental activities involved in formulating strategies. Strategic thinking is a way of approaching problems or situations where we can assess the environment, consider different approaches, forecast outcomes, and make decisions that can help achieve specific goals. Strategic thinking is inherently future-oriented. It involves considerations of risk, resources, timelines, and contingencies. So let's break down this cognitive process of strategic thinking. First, analysis and synthesis. Strategic thinking requires breaking a problem down into its components, which is analysis. It also requires integrating different pieces of information and perspectives into a coherent whole, which is the synthesis. Second, problem solving. Here we use logical reasoning, creativity, and evaluation to identify solutions to complex problems, and accordingly we can make informed decisions. Third, future forecasting. This involves projecting into the future, anticipating outcomes, and considering potential developments and their implications. Fourth is planning and organizing. Developing structured plans, setting goals, and organizing resources and actions effectively. These are essential aspects of strategic thinking. Fifth, the risk assessment. This includes evaluating uncertainties, estimating potential impacts, and deciding on acceptable levels of risk. Sixth, learning and adaptation. Strategic thinking requires continuous learning from experiences and adapting strategies based on new information or changing circumstances. Seventh, reflection. This involves self-awareness, reviewing assumptions and decisions, and refining strategies based on insights gained. Well, that is strategic thinking as a cognitive process, and we can summarize everything we said in one sentence. Strategic thinking is a cognitive process that involves analyzing and synthesizing information to make long-term decisions for the organizational and future success. It requires considering different scenarios, anticipating challenges, and identifying opportunities. It integrates creativity, problem solving, and foresight to develop long-term strategies guided by a broader vision. So these are the cognitive functions in strategic thinking. Let's now talk about the 7 core elements of strategic thinking. And these 7 elements are important to understand and essential to use as framework when we, as medical affairs, develop our medical strategies. And this framework helps to ensure that no critical step is missed, whether related to the ecosystem analysis or defining critical success factors or developing the main strategies. So we are talking here about 7 key elements of strategic thinking. The first is to have a long-term vision and mission alignment. The second is the environmental scanning and assessment of the industry trends. The third is to identify internal strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, the SWOT analysis. Fifth, emphasizing patient-centric approach. This is important because it differentiates this strategy from any other strategy. Sixth, leveraging collaborative partnerships. Seventh, and the last, adapting to dynamic changes and emerging opportunities. What matters most is understanding which of these elements make medical strategy different from other types of strategy. And you have seen what truly makes the strategic thinking medical lies in elements number 5, 6, and 7. The fifth is the patient centricity. This is what differentiates a medical strategy from any other type of strategy in the industry. The sixth is collaborative partnerships. Because medical affairs is rooted in science and evidence, but yet operates in a business environment. So both internal and external partnerships are essential and must be considered when shaping medical strategy. Third differentiating element is number 7, adaptability. Healthcare systems are constantly evolving and highly dynamic, and medical strategy must be flexible enough to respond to new challenges and emerging opportunities. To summarize, what makes strategic thinking in medical affairs unique are 3 elements: patient centricity, collaborative partnerships, adaptability to change. With this, we have covered the cognitive framework of strategic thinking and the 7 key elements of the medical strategic thinking. Thank you so much and see you in the next episode.